Well, hello, wealthy women. I am truly excited to bring you one of the most beautiful women I have come across. And her story is so inspirational, and how she can serve you is transformational. Let's just put it that way. So, without further ado, I'm actually just going to pass the mic over to you right now so you can introduce yourself, tell us your business name, and why you decided to go into this line of work and what it means to you.
Awesome. Thank you, my dear. My name is Tawana Yvette, and my business is Black Butterfly Goddess. And it was born from my dark night of the soul, my fight with extreme depression, anxiety, and all of those yummy things rolled up into one with the spiritual side attached. So what happened, I am an incest survivor. And that, of course, set the course for me to choose the wrong types of people to be in my life. And it finally came to a head on March 19th, 2022. And I always say that's the day that I transitioned, and not in a negative sense, but the old me, the people pleaser, transitioned that day. I did attempt to transition into the spirit realm. I was so broken. I didn't love myself. I felt worthless. I felt like I wasn't necessary. And at one point, I even remember saying, I have to be a child of the devil for me to be such a bad person, because that's what I was made to feel. And so went through traditional therapy, things like that, moved out of state, got my own place. My mother's voice, who transitioned 25 years ago, became very undeniably loud. And she's like, get up. And I would, script write where you close your eyes and just let the pen flow. I went through RTT hypnotherapy, rapid transformational therapy, which is where they take you through each a memory in your subconscious so that you can heal it. And then I decided one day, you know what? There's too many of us out here who have gone through SA abuse as children and have gone through domestic abuse. And I didn't realize it was domestic abuse because he never hit me. So I always thought I was crazy, which is what he used to try to make me to believe. So over a weekend, my publisher likes to laugh about that. Over a 2-day period, my website was up, my brand was done, and I created this mentorship coaching type space that bridges between the material and the ethereal realms, so that I could help people connect and feel connected to spirit, and also guide them on their healing journey with my mentorship program. So I am excited. I do TikTok lives and things like that, and the feedback that I get is groundbreaking. I received an email from a gentleman, and he says to me, I had the pills in my hand to end my life, and I saw you on a podcast, and I just want to thank you because I've decided that I want to live. And just to receive one of those messages is completely transformational and inspirational. But my email is full of them, and my TikTok lives are full of them. And so I am out here now changing people's lives. I'm making people want to live. I am showing people it's possible to heal through all of that muck and mire. And my life is something that I only could have dreamed of as a little girl. Seriously. That's my life now. It's literally every day there's magic. Every single day.
You have taken such a without words scenario
Hmm.
and transformed it into your superpower.
Yes.
And your superpower is now healing others.
Yes.
And wow, just the way that you can help and serve, just your entire life was designed and meant for this moment,
It
such a time
was.
as this, right?
It was. I no longer resent any of the experiences that I went through. I used to hold great resentment against all of it. But I shifted my thinking from why did this or why is this happening to me to what is this teaching me? What can I take from this and use to help someone else? So even the separation from my children right now, they're adults, they're beautiful women, they're very successful. I'm proud of them, but mom's trauma was a little too much for them. And I respect them for
Yeah.
being
Wow.
so brave to do that. So, there's no animosity there. I own it. I own my mistakes when raising my children, and take full accountability. So to the outside world who don't know me, it looks like a sad life, but it's the happiest life I've ever had because it's inside. I finally love me. And I
And
thought that was never possible.
your business name, Butterfly.
Yes,
Metamorphosis. Yeah.
yes,
Transition to flying in beauty, right?
yes, yes. I chose Black Butterfly Goddess because butterflies have always been my thing. And I've got one tattooed on my back from shoulder to shoulder, in fact. And I chose the black butterfly over purple because they're the rarest.
Mm.
You don't see those all the time. You see all the colorful ones, you see the white and yellow ones, but it's very rare that you get to witness a black butterfly, at least here in the States.
You are just magic. You are just everything that you have come through and turned into a positive. It just took you so much that you had to go through and so much work, and you kept going and kept pursuing. That is true inspiration in form, right?
Yes,
And everything you do is just pure success, no matter what it is, because of this transformation and how it guides you and leads you, and the fact that you can bring people other people up and
yes,
inspire them and serve them, help them, guide them, all of those things. There really isn't more work that's more important than something like this when we can serve others, right?
I agree.
Especially when it comes to others that are in a critical moment in their lives and they just need that one right person to show up at that one right time to make
Yes,
that difference. And that's why we all have to speak up and speak out and share our stories and our voices, because ultimately, yes, it's our own transformation we have to go through and
mm-hmm.
learn and sort of not master, because we'll never master. We're not
No,
meant to be perfect, but we are meant to maybe get just a couple steps ahead of someone else so we can help them to come along with the journey. And I just really love this. So tell me a little bit more about, like, what can someone expect when they work with you, and then just for everybody that didn't get the name of your website so they know where to find you. And then we're going to go into some of our fun success questions.
awesome. My website is blackbutterflygoddess.com. I made it easy. And I am Black Butterfly Goddess on all social media platforms. What people can expect from working with me, again, is being a bridge between the material and the ethereal. So I can dig deep into your subconscious with what my guides tell me, things that you may have not even realized you've packed away. And each one of my clients is their experience is personalized. So when I send them their weekly journal, it's based on what they are going through in their life as it pertains to them. I spend hours and hours and hours changing questions and things like that so that everybody feels like I heard them. I don't want generic stuff just going to my clients. I want them to know that I care about the very details of their life. So we do journaling, it's mandatory because I know how healing it is to put that pen to that paper. We meet every week. we discuss, how you're feeling, what you're going through, what did you learn? Is there something else you want to switch to? Those types of things. They get weekly oracle reads. In the beginning, they receive a crystal grid that is designed just for them and cleanses their energy in preparation for healing. In the middle, what did I put in the middle? God, they will have an Akashic reading if that's something that they're interested in. And at the end, an energy clearing by my coach, my mentor, one of my besties, who does full body energy clearings, and her energy clearing helped me to get me on my path. So I always say I wouldn't be who or where I am without her. That's what people can expect from me. I put all of that yummy goodness in with all the different healing and energy modalities, and it's all personalized. There are no
Love
two that
this.
are alike.
That's so true. I love this so much because it really speaks to the fact that mindset and all of the big changes you can hope to expect in your life really
Hmm.
comes from a position of 80% mindset, maybe 20% of the actual, tasks, right? The
Right, right.
strategies. And so often, so many people have it flipped. And
Yes.
the thing is, I one of the reasons I'm really loving to share these beautiful success stories is there really is a similar thread between all of the women in my world that
Hmm.
really understand that mindset is so foundational and can quantum leap you into your
Yes.
results and also help you recognize things that you didn't even know were going on. And I know we spoke earlier where I had a coach that called me out on a money block that I had. In 15 minutes, it was changed. And I thought I knew myself enough to be able to figure that out for myself or even
Right.
recognize that it was there. And so I love that there are you know, women like you that can help those that, maybe think they have it all figured out. And then they come to
Right.
realize, wow, I had no clue that was in my way. And thank you for clearing it, and just helping them,
100%.
so love this. So love that we talk about mindset and that soulful connection and,
Yes.
all of those activities, journaling, meditating, walking in nature, gratitude. These are sometimes people think it's all woo woo stuff, but it is not. It is serious strategy and success tools. And so
Foundational.
I love that
You have to build your
yes, so
foundation
foundational.
there.
Yes, absolutely. And then the right fruits on your tree are going to grow. So,
Exactly.
because you get to know who you really are, what you're meant to do in the world, how you're meant to serve, and what is the most joyful way in which you want to, go forward with your life and share that. So love it. Okay. Okay, are we ready for our success questions?
We are
Yay!
ready.
Okay, I guess, we are this is the main concept here is are for women who are considering to build their own business or are
Hmm.
currently doing so, maybe hitting, a little bit of a bump in the road. They need some inspiration from, you've been there, you've gone through the thing. So kind of coming from that vision focus. So
Okay.
the first question then with that is what is your number one professional tip for women to grow their businesses?
Number one professional tip would be stay with like-minded people, because you would be surprised who's watching you on Facebook. You would be surprised who's watching you on Instagram. For example, I didn't know my publisher had been watching me for 7 years. And her network is huge. It's huge. So surround yourself with like-minded people, because that's what's going to help you move forward.
I Yeah, I could not, and it just builds you up. I actually wanted to add to that because you make a very good point. One of my coaches was saying, we sometimes get focused on vanity metrics. How many people
Hmm.
watched, liked, commented, and we don't realize there's people watching, and they may not be responding or engaging in any way, but you doesn't that does not mean that you're still not making a difference in their life. So
Exactly.
if yeah, if you're at the beginning stages of your business and you're thinking, oh, I have two people in my group or two people watch, it's okay. Those two people, imagine they were in your living room, you would serve them well. They're real
Right.
human beings.
Right.
But then imagine all the people that you don't know are watching you, that you're making a difference in their lives. So keep showing up and keep being visible. So I just wanted to add
Yes.
to that because I think in the beginning we're all a little bit, oh, nobody's watching. We all
Yes.
are too,
Yes.
right? So okay, what will you never compromise with in your business?
I will never compromise my beliefs or my standards, my morals, my character. I will never compromise that.
That's everything, right? Because we have to
Yes.
look at ourselves in the mirror, right? And that's the most
Yes.
and we want our God, whatever it is for you, to be proud of us. That's what we're here for,
Exactly.
right? Okay,
Exactly.
so what is your for those that maybe can't afford coaching or something at this present moment in their life,
Hmm.
what would be your best advice for self-transformation that they can do on their own?
I literally have freebie downloads on my website. I have an entire page that says free downloads. There are 3 sets of affirmation cards on there right now. There's a document on how to spot if you're dating a covert narcissist. There are other things that I am working on, including an ebook of how to break away safely if you need to. That will all be free. And when you see that people offer those free downloads, take as much in as you
Yeah.
possibly can, because that will then open your energy field up for those, other the paid opportunities. And you
Mhm.
never know. Approach someone, because I have discounted for certain people because spirit told me to. So you
Absolutely.
just never know.
Absolutely. It's about service in the big
Yes.
picture. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so you were such a beautiful, confident woman. Do you have some tips for others that are trying to work on building up their confidence, especially when it comes to them having to do, things in their business that back in the day was not necessary, such as going
Mhm.
live on Facebook or Instagram and showing up on all the reels? This is definitely a brand new muscle to many. And there, of course, is a confidence transition with that. What's some tips you have for that?
I was that woman, even back in January, and what my mentor told me is just get up and do it. Your authenticity is what's going to shine through. Just get up and do it. And now I go live all the time.
I love it. I love it. I love what you just said, and I also think I tend to say, we have a responsibility. It's not
Yes.
about us. If we have a message that can serve somebody in a helpful way, we
Mhm.
need to get over our basically it's our ego. We need to get
Right.
past our ego and show up because we have a responsibility to share a message that can enlighten and help someone else. So that sometimes just gets it right out of the way. Then you're like, oh yeah, it's not about
100%.
me. Then that one statement hit me so much that I'm like, if I have no makeup on, messy hair, but I have something to say, I don't care anymore. I don't care if my
Exactly.
videos aren't perfectly edited. In fact, I encourage people to just do it messy. Just get out there and do it.
People aren't looking for perfect. People
No.
who are hurting are looking for the messy.
Yes, that's right. The authentic. And we
Mhm.
used to think it was the opposite. Everything had to be perfect. No, that's actually repelling in
Yes.
most ways, right? Because
Yes.
who can keep up with that and who wants to, right? So,
Nobody.
okay. So, how do you personally practice what I call being a wealthy woman every day? Like, what kind of morning rituals do you have, or uh, definites that have to happen for you to feel really good about your day going forward or ending, however?
Coffee is a must, and I know that's not the healthiest thing in the world, but it brings me that joy and that peace when I wake up. The next thing is connecting to my spirit team and my ancestors and asking them, who do I need to serve today? That's literally a question I ask every day. Who is it that I need to serve today? I will sit in a quiet space. Sometimes I use flute music, or frequency music, or just spa music, and
Mm-hmm.
just sit with the house kind of dimmed, so that I can receive those messages from spirit and see who I can guide. Those are three things I can't and won't compromise on, no matter where I am. And usually right after that, I go live.
I love that. I love that whole because I love that thing too, where I'll get on my meditation pillow and I'll be like, for me, it's like, dear God, what am I meant to do today? How can I serve? And I wait for the divine download. And
Yes,
it is amazing, and you know for sure when it shows up. And at that moment, that's when if you're not ready to go live yet, you should at least be writing down what, or
exactly.
recording what that message is that you receive so that you can share it later. It's so important. So important.
100%.
Ah,
100%.
okay, so also another type of question a lot of new business owners or those just getting started tend to wonder about is, what is the best way to market their business? So how did you start, or how do you think is for you the best platform? How often do you go on there? Do you have any success tips for them for getting that started?
So while I do, I haven't in the last couple of weeks because I was on vacation and then there was a medical emergency in my family, but um, I had templates that I would use to post inspirational messages every day on Facebook and Instagram. And on TikTok, I'll get on there and do cute little dancing videos. But my name is Black Butterfly Goddess is on everything. I'll create little inspirational sayings and put it on there with a beautiful image of nature or something that I just found inspiring. And social media is the way to market your business at this point in time. There's no way around it. It just has to be.
I agree with you so much. Whether we love it or don't always love it, whether it's for good or not so good at times, it is what it is. And, we have to, if we want to get our messages across, we sort of have to, be a part of that whole thing. And
Yes.
it's such a gift. I mean, I know a lot of times it gets a bad rap because it's a little difficult and there's algorithms and they change this and all the things. But in the big picture, at what other time in this world have we been able to run amazing, beautiful, successful businesses from our homes,
Right.
reaching anyone around the world and be able to be of service? I mean,
Yes.
if that isn't freedom, I don't know what is, because this just has allowed opportunity across the board for all and everybody, no matter where you are, as long as you have an internet connection
Yes.
and a
Some sort of
mentality of
device.
helping. Yes,
Right,
yes, some
right.
good advice. Exactly, exactly. So um this brings me to another question. There's a lot of women that are toying with the idea of wanting to start a business, but they
Mhm.
have many passions and they don't necessarily know how to kind of pull it all in. And so what would be your recommendation for someone to get clear on their real purpose, like the like what can they do to kind of dial that in?
There's a quote that I put on every single newsletter I send out, and I believe it's part of my website. Oftentimes, our pain is our purpose.
Oh yes, so true. And it kind of like leads to that, I forget the exact wording, but um, basically we don't necessarily learn from our successes as much as we
Mm-mm.
do as our from our failures, right? So we should
100%.
always be trying to fail forward. Always. If
Yes,
you're not failing, you're not doing enough. That's basically what it comes down to. So there's no shame in the trying and the failing. Just keep getting up and going forward again, right? So
exactly.
and then one of the few last questions is, I know, especially for myself, when I first got my business going way back, it was so much overwhelm,
Mhm.
all the things that you have to do. It felt like, you take one step backwards and six steps, I'm sorry, one step forward, six steps back.
Mhm.
And overwhelm can really stop someone from pursuing it because they are assuming it's just such an uphill battle. So
Right.
clearing overwhelm and getting that organized and focused is one of the big key points I feel for a successful pave forward. So
100%.
what could you suggest? How can you kind of maybe give some advice about overwhelm and how to get in front of it, basically?
One of the things that my mentor and I talked about, because we were both high level executive assistants in our past life, you know, what we just walked away from, and we know how to do all the things, um, start delegating,
Oh yeah.
start trusting. And if you've already got the right people around you, they don't mind. I don't mind pitching in for something she needs, and she doesn't mind pitching in for something I need. Whether we know how to, we know how to do all of it. But every once in a while, it's like, hey, sis, I need some help with this. And when you have the right people around you, you can trust them with your vision.
I love that. That trust thing that you just mentioned is one of the biggest things because it's like, no, this is my baby. Only I can do it right, and I get
Yes.
that because I had that too, especially if you're coming a little bit from a perfectionistic
Yes.
mindset, right? But you learn that done is better than perfect,
Yes.
because perfect never gets done.
No,
And so just put it out there and you can tweak it as you go. It
as you
doesn't have
go.
to be perfect, right? And
Exactly.
and the other thing that I learned is this was a huge one for me because I have a pretty expanded skill set. There's a lot of ways that I can serve people. There's a lot of different ways I can also focus and make money
Hmm.
and turn it into a program. And so in the beginning, I'm like, okay, well, I can create someone's website. I can do their reputation marketing. I can do this and that. And then yes, I can, but I if I try and do everything, I can't do anything. And then it
Exactly.
really was very hard, to be quite honest with you. I still struggle a little because I get little hints like, oh, I would love to kind of dabble in that a little bit. But dabbling becomes a hobby, and a hobby is not a business. And so if you really want a business, you need to have one
Yes.
focus, and one of my coaches is like one focus for 1 year until you make $100,000 at it, and
Hmm.
so on. And then maybe you can add something in. And I
Hmm.
love that advice. And she said she got that from somebody else. Nobody knows who it is, but I read that book, The One Focus. And if
Hmm.
any of you women out there are having trouble because you have an amazing skill set with a couple different things, you would be able to serve perfectly to anybody.
Hmm.
That may be the case, but it's not going to serve you. So
No,
I would suggest reading this book because that was a big that goes with the
I
overwhelm
got to
too,
write that
right?
one down.
Yeah, I think it's called the one thing or something like that. I really need to remember the title, but it was such a good book. It really. And then it's like your homework assignment. Okay, I might be able to do five things, but I only get to choose one. And then
Yes.
you start bring in your personality. What is your favorite parts of yourself or the favorite ways to work? What brings you the most energy and joy? And
Hmm.
then choose that one because you want to kind of, really position yourself for success, I would say. So, yeah.
100%.
Okay. In
100%.
closing, what is your absolute favorite thing about having your own business and why would you encourage other women to go ahead and do it for themselves?
Well, number one, of course, is the freedom. I can do what I do from anywhere in the world with an internet connection. But number two is I have my body and my time back. I'm not running myself crazy for someone else to have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm running
Mm-hmm.
myself crazy on those days where I do it, it's for me to have a good life.
Yes.
So that to me is the one of the best benefits of being an entrepreneur is that you you can see the fruits of your labor. But when you work for someone else, it just becomes an experience, a very
Yeah.
mundane, task
Yeah.
oriented experience. And they have a good life, and you're at the office until 10 p.m.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
So,
It's
if
true.
I'm in the office till 10 p.m., I'm in my office, in my
There you
house, in
go.
my pajamas, you
That's
know?
right. That's right.
So
And
that's
when
my
we fill our
benefit.
own cups, we have that much more to give to those we want to share to, right? So we
Exactly.
have to fill our own cups first. And
Yes.
that's a little difficult sometimes for women because we're always, we're basically trained to be the nourisher, to
Yes.
be that giver, people pleaser,
Yes.
the whole nine yards. But boundaries are so important.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
boundary in the big picture is take care of yourself, fill your own
Mm-hmm.
tank, however that, whatever that is for you, whether it's quiet time, naps, uh, talks with God, reading, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. Whatever works for you, but you need to fill your own tank before you
Mm-hmm.
can ever be of service to anybody else. And that has and always has been the way it should be. But we learn, but typically what we do is we give it all away until we're
Right.
empty, and then we're like, and then it's just not the way to do it. So give
Exactly.
yourself permission to love thyself, fill
Mm-hmm.
thyself, heal thyself, so that you can help yourself, and then you'll be in a better position to help everybody else. Which also brings me to one last question. I wasn't going to do this, but I love this one because a lot of women struggle with money blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me why it is so important for women to give themselves permission to receive an abundance of money. Why is that a good thing?
We deserve it. We
Mm-hmm.
bring light. We are portals. Women are portals. And not only just in the physical sense of bringing life into the world by having a child, whatever we're given, we're going to multiply it. And so we deserve to receive the abundance because we're such givers.
That's right. That's
I am
it.
100% believer in that.
That's right, because you cannot give from an empty tank. And this goes
No.
right back to the self love, fulfilling yourself, taking good care of yourself in all matters, health, mental, all of it. But
Mm-hmm.
financial is that much more, also that important, because when you have money, a
Mm-hmm.
woman's basic nature is to help, and that means that she can help more people.
Right.
You might have such a heart that wants to help those that have less or are in need.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have the money, you're not going to be able to help them as much as if you do have the money. So
Not at
if
all.
your whole focus is to be of service, I can promise you that the more money that you bring to yourself, the more money that you will be able to benefit others with. And so we need to have women get in this mindset of accepting
Yes.
abundance in all
Yes.
ways. It is
Yes.
it's a divine right. It's a God-given blessing that we be abundant in all ways. And so we need to
100%.
be open and let it in. Let in the abundance.
Allow.
Okay. Yes,
Like
allow,
my
receive.
mentor friend and I say,
Mhm.
surrender, allow, receive.
Yes. Yes. It's everything. Absolutely. So that energy level we spoke about before and that
Mm-hmm.
mindset work has everything to do with that self-love and allowance to receive, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
then we're full. And then when we're full, everybody gets to benefit from it. So
Yes.
love this, love this, love this. Okay, so before we close out, can you please give your website link one more time so that everyone knows how to
Absolutely.
find you?
Blackbutterflygoddess.com and Black Butterfly Goddess on every social media platform.
Oh, thank you. Did I not tell you that this was going to be such a moving, inspirational success story? So there, basically, find your desire, because your desire is never wrong, and let it lead you, and then put into action some of the things that were shared in this beautiful interview today, and you will find your dreams will and enjoy the journey too, but you will
Yes.
find your dreams coming true. And please just never give up and keep going, because you're meant to have a beautiful life, and you're also meant to
Yes.
help others have beautiful lives. So thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you.
am so thankful for this beautiful, beautiful success story. And okay, ladies, you go make your dreams come true, and I will see you next time. Bye for now. Okay, I'm gonna stop this recording.